Hey, welcome to another tutorial. This is going to be a WIP or a work in process on the row house. Going to make a tower. The idea came up during a paint night, or after paint night, where Clayton, Scotty, and myself were brainstorming about what we could possibly add, or what I could possibly add to the row houses, and the idea came up of a tower. And that was Clayton's idea, and I didn't want it fixed to the row house. I want to be able to have it removable so you can move it around. And because the row houses have pretty much the same height on the second level, it lent itself to having a walkway that I could just rest on top of that portion of the row house and move it between different row houses depending on where I want it during gameplay, or not have it at all. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a tower. It's going to be out of wood to match everything else in this build, and that's pretty much it. So let's get going. This is one of the support beams for the tower, and I wanted to carve it and have it similar to this one. Not exactly, but that's okay, just close enough. This will go on the opposite side of this, so I'm just going to show you how I achieve that. I'm just going to go through and cut all the guidelines. Now I did notice on the first one that I did that these little sharp points right here are very difficult to work with, and they tend to disappear, so I'm going to try to fatten them up a little bit. Normally I wouldn't be spinning this wood this much because I wouldn't have to worry about it being on camera, but because it has to be on camera, I need to spin a little bit more. I'm just checking to see where I've already cut. This one right here, I don't want to go very deep, just because I want to have an illusion wrapping around. The reason why I cut this way and then this way, because I want this to go straight down over here and over here. I don't do that on all of them, but when I remember, I want to make sure that happens. Now that I have it pretty much carved out the way I want to, what I want to do is I just want to soften these edges before I sand. I'm not going to go on the interior here. I want to still leave that sharp just because it's such a small area that if I soften the edges in here, it's just going to dull everything up and not have it as prominent. I just want to take that edge off right here. Now I'm gonna take some sandpaper and just kind of get close with the straight edge on this, on the sandpaper, and just soften the edges even more and make it a little bit more smooth. I'm gonna take a wire brush to it, but I don't want to apply a lot of pressure. I don't want to do a deep grain. One thing I want to do before I do it is I want to kind of force some grain right here on this end. All right, I want to give the illusion that these main timbers right here that are going to support the walkway are going to come through, or they're being pegged through this main timber that's going to be set vertical. So I want to have a hole, and then I'm going to use this to come through this side to give that illusion that this has been pegged through here. So I need to cut this hole out deep enough to where I can put this into there. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to show you can do it with an X-Acto knife, or you can do it with a chisel, either way. One thing I forgot to mention is when you're doing this, if you go with the grain, it's much easier than against the grain. When you're doing an X-Acto knife, it doesn't matter as much. Anyway, get the idea. So I'm going to do the other one, and I'll get back to you. Okay, I want to now attach this, and I made some shims out of basswood, and I have a line on the lines on the back here where I want this to go, and they line up with these, and this will be my 90-degree angle by using these. And I'm just going to glue this and attach it. The reason why I use the shim is because I want it centered in the back of this main beam. The one that I'm holding down, this one right here, is not as thick as this one, obviously. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do this part right here, where it gives the illusion that this is going through and pegged right there. And I'm going to do it on this one. I've already dug the hole, and now I'm just going to put that in there. So I have a rough idea where I need to drill the hole. Now it's really easy to drill into your mat. I figured that out the hard way. Went through pretty quick, drilled into my mat. I just bought a little stir sticks at the local craft store. Just gonna whittle it down. I'm gonna kind of keep one end kind of fat, just to add character. I'm gonna make some supports for different beams that are gonna go on the tower, and just mark right there from here to here, and I just wanna cut these at 45s. Now this basswood is soft enough that I can do it without doing a saw. I've gone ahead and pre-assembled a lot of this just to make it easier, and I've continued to do some of the patterns that I've been doing. I didn't want to keep going and showing the same thing, but just want to do an assemble just to kind of move on. I offset these right here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to continue to put some of these pieces on. like I've done already here, but we're gonna do it down here. Just gonna do it till it's flush. That joint's flush and this joint's flush as much as possible. Might not be 100%, but close enough for the people I work for. I'm gonna put some of these in place. I want the top to be the same width as the bottom, so I'm gonna use this as a guideline. Just test fitting up here to make sure it's the same width. Whoops. Cut a bunch of planks to put on here. I've already done the wood grain on them, and I've notched this every 1/4 of an inch just to kind of help me keep them straight. I want to extend this part out further just so I have more options. So I just made longer planks. I'm just going to glue those out, and then after that I'm going to support underneath them because this is balsa wood, and I'm just going to put some basswood underneath it. I'm also going to put basswood underneath this too, so it'll have more support in the center there. I don't think it'll ever break in my gameplay. This is going to be an extension that's going to come off of the tower. It's going to have a pulley system on it. I think I'm going to have like a bucket, so I can pull a bucket up. Put a support brace under here. Going to dry fit this. Just made some little support beams I'm going to put under here. I just want to try a new style of support just to see if I can pull it off for this arm that I'll have the bucket on it. I'm leaving it attached just so I can do the wood grain on it easier. Repaired the broken support and put wood grain in it, and now I'm going to glue it in. I'm going to put these right here because it's going to have a tarp over it, like for a food stand or whatever we decide to put in there, but I don't want to sit here and hold this till it dries, so I'm going to peg it, do a pilot hole, and kind of get it started till it shows up on the other side. I have some decorative toothpicks I'm going to use. Now I'm just going to snip it off just because I don't want it to go all the way in. just enough to hold it in place. There you go. Now I'll do the same to the other side. This is now dry, so I want to put a beam across here so I can start putting this together. So I've already marked it. I'm going to cut it now. Now one of the things I want to do is I want to be able to put lanterns on the end of this. So I want to drill some holes in this and use some decorative toothpicks to come off so I can tie some lanterns to it. Gonna make a lantern now. These are parts you can buy in the jewelry section of a hobby place. And this is jewelry beading wire. It's 24 gauge. This is silver, but it's gold. It's both the same thing. Gonna bend it in half so there's a loop at one end. And I'm just kind of making a fake rope is all I'm doing. Gonna get some, I think they're forceps. Clamp it at one end and then utilize my broken toothpick. I essentially want the loop big enough to where when I thread it through here, it won't fall through. I'm just going to thread the make-believe rope through there where it's caught on that so it won't come all the way through. Get my glue. Glue a little bit down there, and then I'm just going to glue around the top. And my lantern. Well, that's pretty much a wrap on this portion of the tower build. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope there was something that you can learn or something you learned from it. Or if not, just an idea they can take into your hobby and use it in your hobby and apply it to the things that you like to do. If you enjoy this channel and enjoy the content that you see, and like us, subscribe to us, and hit the notification bell. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. We also have an Instagram at Platypus Scotsman if you want to follow us there. And we also have a Facebook page as well if you want to follow us there. But we post every Wednesday on this channel. So look forward to next week, and we'll have more of the build on the tower, and hopefully we'll get it done. If not, then we'll continue working on the row house, and we'll have more whips, and we'll get to other stages of the row house. And that's pretty much it. Remember what my mother used to always say, that anybody can do art. Ciao. Cool fire. Southern Nights.
Did you say Sadu?
What?
Did you say
Southern Nights.